The first play I can remember seeing was directed by my father at the school where he taught, and it was called The Insect Play. It was a satire on human civilization, where humans are insects. They disappeared into these holes on this elaborate surrealist set, and all I wanted to do was to follow them through the holes and see where they led. And I think that probably planted something. I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. Planted something in my mind about needing to know what happened backstage. Well, at 5, yes, I played Jack Frost in some sort of Christmas show, and I had satin trousers and a silk shirt and a blue sash and a crown made of polystyrene, and I got a lot of attention for it, and that became a dangerous addiction. That was my first professional job. It was another country on stage. It was an extraordinary beginning because I got to do both film and theatre within the first year of my professional life, and to get a job at all was a miracle. It was around the time that Raging Bull was out. I remember we all desperately wanted to do that. We didn't want to do Shakespeare and Dickens and that sort of thing. We wanted to box and swear and have broken noses. It had been a really quite wonderful but not entirely serene period, shooting the King's Speech. I didn't feel remotely royal at any point, and neither should I have done, because this character, part of his problem is I don't think he felt royal in any way we would envy. I think you'd have to be insane to still want to be royal after watching this film. I don't think it takes up a position on the royal family in any other way than to say its privilege may not be all it's cracked up to be. I don't believe that he is defined by the stammer. What defines him is the fact that he is doing battle actually not with the stammer but with the terror and the fear, or refuses to be ruled by it. And he decides somehow that he will make it manageable, he will reach an accommodation with it. There's a certain degree of embarrassment about success in England, both by those who experience it and by those who look upon it. And I think, we are historically a nation of apologizers. Whether we feel particularly apologetic or not, I don't know. And that's offset by another side to our country, which is capable of dominating huge parts of the world with violence. You don't have an empire by apologizing. It's something that's a bit hard to fathom when you study the English, really, to reconcile the apologetic country vicar with the soccer hooligan. They both are absolutely English. I'm very romantic about the idea of quiet heroism. I don't particularly get inspired by a film about someone who can lift a skyscraper or crush a planet in his fists. I don't find that heroic. This is partly why George VI appeals to me. He's considered a bit of a footnote in history, and his heroism is to do with his battle with his own demons. Because I have to cry every so often for a living, I find it mortifying if it spills over into my daily life, and I haven't really managed to do it for years. I would probably cry if I got a splinter or something. I fell off my bicycle a couple of years ago, and I almost burst into tears. And I almost cried recently in New York because it was so cold. So physical things bring tears to my eyes more readily than emotional pain.